I used my brain too much today, guys. I went to the escape room and I escaped. Labels are fun. You'll find that out real quick. I can't talk today. I can't function. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Copy and Firsties. So today is going to be my 10 tips for new teachers, for brand new teachers, fresh out of college, been into a classroom this year or a special area or anything along those lines. If you are brand spanking new and you're gonna be in the school year for the very first time, this is the perfect video for you. If you are here from some of the other collabs, I wanna say hi, welcome to my channel. This video is a collaboration with a ton of teachers who are ready to give you advice on your brand new year of teaching of your first year. And other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Oh my gosh, first year teacher. I'm trying to remember back. In my first year, I thankfully got to be in my classroom right away. My teacher retired and basically mic dropped and walked out of the room. She didn't take anything with her. And so I just was feeling so excited, very overwhelmed, and I can just imagine what you're feeling right now. But hopefully these videos are going to be helpful for you. So let's get into it. My 10 tips for surviving that first year of teaching. I tried to think back of how I was feeling and what advice I wish I was given or good advice that I was given my first year of teaching that will be helpful to you, because I know we're probably all going to have a lot of the same responses. So I tried to think of something that was particular to me in my first year of teaching. Tip number 1, this pertains to me specifically, but if you are in a blank slate classroom, then this is not going to pertain to you. But my room was a retired teacher, like I said, mic drop, walked out. She left a ton of stuff from her 35 years of teaching, and I was overwhelmed. Like, what do I keep? What do I save? I was going through everything, and my poor family was helping me, and it took weeks. I mean, it took a month to just go through that classroom. And thinking back, I felt like when I was going through the declutter process, I felt like it could have gone a lot quicker than what I really felt like. If I really didn't like something, I should have just pitched it or put it out in the hallway for somebody to take. I made it way too hard. Don't think that you have to save everything or go through everything when you get into your classroom. Sometimes there are a ton of stuff in there. So if you're overwhelmed and you already have some stuff that you're moving into the room, or you know that you're going to be getting a ton of new stuff, then don't be afraid to just put it in a box, put it outside, and put free on it and be done with it. Because sometimes you just need a clean slate or a fresh decluttered cabinet to make you feel so much better. Make quick choices and get her done. Number 2 kind of goes with number 1, and that is people are going to be so gracious and so nice, but they're also going to be decluttering all year in their classroom too, because teachers declutter all the time. Probably going to be thinking, oh my gosh, she has nothing, or he has nothing, they have nothing. You're probably gonna have a lot of people come to you and say, do you want this? Or they're gonna leave it on your desk and say, I thought you might need this. Don't think that you have to save everything. If you really don't think that you're gonna need it, or you already have a copy of it, don't save it just for the sake of that person being nice. You don't wanna hurt their feelings. They honestly were probably just trying to get rid of it themselves. Some of it's going to be awesome, and some of it you're probably not ever gonna use, or you already have a copy of, so don't be afraid to tell people that you don't need that, or you don't think you'll use that, but thank you anyway. Number 3 is, if you do actually need something, ask for it. I'm trying to think back to my first year of teaching. I bought 25 book boxes, right? 25 book boxes. They were beautiful. They were black. I still have them. They were from Really Good Stuff. Side note, Really Good Stuff has the best book boxes. You're gonna pay for it, but I still have them 5 years later. First day of school, got 2 kids. Where are they gonna put their stuff in a flexible seating classroom? Like, I needed 2 book boxes, stat. So what I did, I didn't freak out. I just sent a mass email out and I said, hey, does anybody have 2 extra book boxes that I could use? I'll pay you back, or I'll buy you new ones. Or sometimes they're just trying to get rid of stuff too. Maybe they have like 35 book boxes. It always seems to be the case that somebody has what you need, whether it be a book box or an extra clipboard, or maybe an extra art box if a kiddo doesn't need one. Sending out mass emails, maybe not like, you know, all the time for like everything, not like pencils and stuff. I think I did Daily 5 too, the Daily 5 book. I didn't have that in my room, and I knew that everybody was using it, so I felt like somebody might be having an extra copy on accident from room switchings. So I sent out an email, and sure enough, people had multiple copies. So I was actually able to just take a Daily 5 book from somebody, and I've had it ever since. So if you need something, don't be afraid to ask for it. 4 kind of goes along with this overwhelming, Pinteresty, gorgeous, beautiful classrooms that I swear people spend thousands of dollars on. Like, I don't know how they do it. I'm gonna think that you have this perfectly set up classroom. You're gonna spend so much time on it. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, the calendar is perfect over there. I'm so proud of myself. Pat myself on the back. Teacher table looks awesome there. I'm just so happy with it. This looks perfect. You're gonna get all these systems around the room. You're gonna get your teacher table and your guided reading area and your desk if you have one. You're gonna get that set up. You're gonna get all of your little areas set up in the room, right? And it looks perfect, it's pristine, it's like sparkling, you know, everywhere, and you're so happy. And then you live in it for like a month with actual children, and you realize that your systems are terrible and they're messing up. Even though they look beautiful, when kids are being thrown into the mix, you are noticing, oh my gosh, like calendar can't be here. Calendar has to be on this wall because this is where we are, and it's a mess because we move all the time. And it's just take a deep breath. Just know that you're a new teacher. You thought you did what was best just to start the room up, but now you know, it's amazing that you actually can move that stuff if you want to. So I moved my classroom around a ton of times, and then I decided to do flexible seating, really because of that, because I kept moving things around because of my wiggle worm kids, and I just was trying to find systems that worked for my kiddos my first year of teaching, and flexible seating was great, but I also was just, you know, I hated that table there. I hate that thing. I had to just keep moving things around until I liked what I liked. And then, honestly, you might move it around again year after year. Maybe you can find your system that works for you and it'll stay, and that's perfect. But I just want to warn you, when you get it set up in the summertime and it looks pretty, once you get kids in it, you might have to move some stuff around, and that's okay. I'm gonna think it's really funny when they come in. They're gonna be like, what? Calendar was up in there? What? You trying to play as Miss Lacer? What are you doing over there? Tip number 5 is do not make, I repeat, I never listen to this tip every year. Actually, I've done pretty good this year. Number 5, do not make student labels until like at least 1 week out. I tried last year to go even like as close to ice cream social, like back to school night, as possible, because your list is gonna change. You're gonna drop students, you're gonna get students added to your roster, and it's gonna change that numerical order. It's gonna really upset you if you've got 5 sheets of labels printed. So you're gonna be so upset because Avery labels are not cheap, let me tell you. You can get the Staples brand that's a little bit cheaper, or maybe some on Amazon, but they're not cheap, and it's very frustrating when you've got all their names on their, you know, I had everybody's name up on the board in like July, and I had people be like, oh, you're gonna have to change those, and I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm being productive. And sure enough, I had like 3 kids drop, 4 kids add, and it totally ruined everything. So just try, I'm spitting. Getting into this one, it's because it's important. Try your best to not print labels as close to back to school. Get everything else done that you can until a few days before back to school night. That's my goal. If you can do a week out, that's, you know, it is what it is. Labels are fun. You'll find that out real quick. 6 is a management tip. So management, everybody does something different. I feel like management, sorry guys, I'm using natural lighting and it looks like a storm's coming in. So, you know, the lighting's going back and forth. It's tricky in every classroom. I feel like it's like parenting. Like everybody has their way of managing, and it could look different in every classroom. And you can't say that one person's doing it wrong. One of those things where you do what you believe in your heart, and you know, do what your kids need in your classroom. So, having said that, when you're deciding what classroom management plan you're using, whatever you're doing, even if you have a school-wide one, plan you use, whether it be a clip chart, if you're gonna go dojo route, if you're going to do more of a conscious discipline route, stick to your rules and be firm about it. To be firm and fair with your classroom management, and that is the only way that it's going to work. If you set a rule, even if it's do not pick your nose, you have got to stick with it. And if you don't stick with it, your kids are gonna walk all over you and it's going to be so hard. And I feel like, oh, my heart reaches out to first teachers because you're gonna fail at this so miserably, and it's okay. And you're gonna find out soon that you do have to be firm, and you're gonna start thinking like the kids are walking all over me, and it's gonna be frustrating, but you're gonna learn super quick, and you might have to have a come to Jesus moment with them, and it's all gonna be okay. They're gonna respect you again, I promise. You're gonna get your class back. It can be frustrating, but it's a learning curve. Your first year is a learning curve. So the best advice I can give for classroom management is just to be firm and fair and just stick with it. Just stick with whatever rules you have all year long. Just stick with it and your kids will do okay. Number 7 is kind of a silly one. I try and think back to my first year of teaching, and I was called the newbie, the fresh newbie. I was one of 2 new newbies that was like the first newbie in like 10 years, I feel like, called newbies. Oh, those first year teachers, you know, they're so fresh and all, aren't you so cute putting up your bulletin board in June. It's funny to think back on now. Like, it's okay to be a newbie, and it's okay to smile and say like, I know, I'm having fun being a newbie, and just be okay with being called a first year teacher. Be okay with getting those pats on the back like, oh honey, you'll learn quick that doesn't work, or something like that. It's funny. Take it as a cute laugh, and it'll completely die off after your first year. You will not be hearing that. I feel like once you get into that first year and you're done, you're like, you are a teacher now. You are a real life teacher. You are no longer a newbie, and you're gonna be well respected with your community. My wonderful team respected me as well. I didn't really get a whole lot of newbie jabs, but I did get a few of them, especially at the beginning of the year when I had all these cute I had like a 3D crown box that Greg made me, and everybody was just like, whoa, overachiever, newbie. And like at first I was like, oh, what about, ooh. But now it's just like, it's fine. Like it wasn't a big deal. That's almost the thing that you can laugh about being a newbie, because being a newbie is really, really hard. First year teaching is so hard. So be okay with being a newbie and use that to your advantage. Be like, oops, I messed up, newbie here. Like, you can use that all year long. You can't use that anymore after you're, a second year teacher. Along with being a newbie, my tip is to ask for help, and this is the biggest one, guys. If you don't take anything from this entire video, take this. Learn from your mistakes quickly, like super quick, because you are going to be learning things. You're going to be making a ton of mistakes super quick. Like, I feel like every week I was learning something like, okay, can't do that, or okay, I'm sending too many emails out to parents, or okay, I think I'm making too many copies. Like, you learn so quickly every single week, and if you can just remember what mistake you made, it's gonna make your life so much easier. So please, 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 if you don't take anything from this video, ask for help and learn from your mistakes. That's a big one. Build relationships with your team. Obviously, like, build that relationship. Don't just, hey, we teach first grade together. We, meet sometimes and talk, and build relationships. Buy them coffee every now and then. Show them that you care. Give them Christmas cards. Give them a small Christmas gift if you can. Build those relationships within your team, but also branch out to other grade levels or other schools in your district. Branch out and make those relationships. It literally opens my eyes when I am talking to kindergarten and second grade, where they're middle. I'm seeing where they're coming from, and I see where they're going. And when we build those relationships and talk all the time, I feel like we're almost meshing together to where we're all on the same team, if that makes sense. Is this too hard, or are you doing this, or what should I do with this kid who's multiplying in first grade? Like, it's amazing what things you can learn from your other grade levels. So don't be afraid to branch out. Even me, I try and reach out to my 5th grade teachers as best as I can. Sometimes I feel like they're in their own little world over there, because our 5th graders are the last ones in our elementary school. They do some crazy mad skill stuff with their kids, and I feel like they're on the other side of the school, and you know, it can be hard to build relationships with those people, but I try my best, and we've actually done some really cool projects together where we've made blankets for kids eat around Christmas time with our 1st and 5th graders, and it was the best experience ever. So build those relationships within your team, but definitely try and branch out to the other grade levels too. And tip number 10 is my favorite tip of all, and honestly, this is by God's grace. I have no idea why this happens. I have no idea why this happens. I literally don't. So when you have a rough day, even if you snap, because you're gonna snap, you don't know how to manage your stress levels yet with your 25 kids. This year I'm gonna have 30. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna make mistakes in front of them and you're going to snap. Sometimes you might make a fool of yourself, and that's okay because it's amazing. The next day you come into school, they're still gonna love you. I don't know why, but they do. Every single day, my kids come in smiling no matter what happens the previous day, whether I was, you know, a bear to them or if I was struggling with my classroom management, they love you the next day. So you get to try over every single day, and it is just the best feeling in the world, leaving the classroom knowing that you're gonna have a fresh, clean slate the next day. It is absolutely amazing. I honestly don't know why it happens, but it does. And at least with my little kids, they love you every single day. It doesn't matter what you do. You're gonna mess up and it's gonna be okay because they're still gonna love you the very next day. Hey, that concludes my top 10 tips for new teachers. It's going to be so hard, but you're gonna do so fine. And you're lucky because you have this whole teacher tuber community that is always giving tips. I wish I had that when I was a first-year teacher. I would have been watching these videos all the time. So if you liked these tips, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell in case you want to see even more back-to-school tips, because my back-to-school series, this video is actually the first video in my back-to-school series, so that's so exciting. More tips and tricks and classroom setup and all kinds of fun stuff that I'm going to be doing before school. I have about 1 week and a few days out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check in the link below. A ton of other videos and wonderful teacher tubers that have also made their 10 tips, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.